Hey guys, Brian Fisher with Edge Fitness, coming to you with a Friday fix to hopefully put a great end to what has hopefully been a great week for you guys. As we're coming into the weekend, chances are you're probably going to be going out and doing some different yard work things, okay, maybe some other activities that you can't always fit in during the week. Well, oftentimes we then see on Mondays, since we do massage therapies with our training here, we get people that come and it's like, oh, you know what, hey, how are you feeling today? Well, my low back's a little sore after fill in the blank. Yard work, doing some different activities, something like that, playing around a golf, something that kind of tweaked the low back. Well, we love working with those people, we love helping them out, getting them to feel better, but we also want them to stay feeling better, okay? I worked with another individual last night that came in for their last session on a 6-week block. They started out, we used something called a functional movement screen to see how well someone moves. So we can see where maybe some potential limitations, weaknesses, asymmetries, maybe a point of, hey, if we stress that pattern, that movement too much, too soon, in a way that's not ready for, that could cause injury, or that could plateau the results, that could keep them from getting where they want to go. That's what we want to try to avoid. When we rescreened this person, when we screened them the first time, they were an 11. The highest you can get is a 21. So they were definitely at a point where their movement quality, how well they moved, was putting them at risk. If they started moving too often, their movement quantity, kind of the fitness stuff that they wanted to do, if we approached it the wrong way, they were at a high risk of getting injured. So we wanted to correct their movement ability to avoid things such as maybe some low back issues. And they kind of mentioned, they'd had that in the past and some other injuries from being a young athlete, recently had played some sports, now into college, trying to improve so they could just be healthier and start that journey out the right way as they got out of some organized sports and into just more life activities. When we rescreened them after these 6 weeks, they moved up to a 17. That's a pretty significant increase in their overall movement. And we classify some of those movements as green, yellow, and red lights. Red lights are exactly what they sound. Those are movements that, we need to not do anything there other than let's do some corrective strategies to try to improve how you move there, turn that into a green light, just like you're waiting in traffic for a red light to change. It will change, but what caused their lights to change to all greens after we rescreened them last night was their focus on doing the right exercises and not doing the wrong exercises. They focused on doing their corrective strategies. They were very compliant with that, so they took ownership of it, something that we all have to do for our fitness if we're going to go anywhere. They took ownership of that, and that really helped to drive that 11 up to a 17 with all greens, no asymmetries. Everything looked really good, nice and solid movement that now opens the door to kind of take their training from let's improve how well you move before we stress how often, while stressing how often they move in areas that they move well. And we're able to take it and boom, now they've got all kinds of green lights, all of them, all 7 movements, green lights, good to go to really, with proper programming, safe form technique, stress their movement quality and quantity together to help them really see even greater results than what they saw in terms of their body composition, which was one of their goals, as well as their overall athleticism, movement potential. So when we look at the strategies that we use there, one of them that we use that works for both an athlete as well as that kind of weekend warrior maybe overdid it, okay, that came in for the massage, like, hey, my low back's a little tweaked. One of the things that can help us all with that is, I mentioned, not doing the wrong exercises and also doing the right ones. A way to kind of balance that, especially kind of keying in on some low back, which chances are we're probably all going to have something there at some point in time in our lives. Just with how we're active and we don't always make the best movement choices every single second of the day, as well as the occasional, hey, I just lifted wrong, or the occasional, I overdid it. Maybe it's just a light pull, a light strain, nothing major that goes away all by itself pretty easily in just a few days. All the way to catastrophic back injuries. That's a whole nother topic. We're not going that far. But chances are we're going to have something in that spectrum. We want to try to keep it more towards this end if we can by making the right choices, not making the wrong choices. Not making the wrong choices is addition by subtraction. If you were to look up, what are some of the best ways to work with low back pain? Well, it's going to say strengthen your core. What are some of the best exercises to strengthen the core? First ones you're going to see on an internet search or talking to somebody typically is crunches, sit-ups, leg raises, Russian twists, all kinds of exercises that actually take what should be a very stable, not moving, well controlled in terms of position, under speed, under load, under tension, for duration, area of the body, and we move through it, okay? That is taking a stick or a branch or a tree and bending it over and over again, okay? If it's a kind of wispy tree that bends very easily, it can tolerate that. So some people can tolerate that. But if it's a heavier, thicker spine, or you just do it enough times and enough ways and stress it out that much, it's going to give. When it gives, it's going to break, right? So there's a lot of potential risk in those movements that stress movement through what should be a very stable area. So we want to learn how to be stable in that area all the way around 360 degrees, like a built-in back brace or belt, like our core truly functions as, and then learn to move around it without compromising that stability. So not doing the wrong exercises, those addition by subtraction, crunches, sit-ups, leg raises, Russian twists, get rid of those and replace them with some more anti-movement type of core exercises. One of the best series for that we use quite a bit within our clients, that we use with this athlete as well. And yeah, an athlete, it's a pretty simple but not easy routine developed by Dr. Stuart McGill called the McGill Big Three. We've got a whole nother post on it, so we're really emphasizing kind of the idea behind it of addition by subtraction, not doing the wrong exercises, doing the right exercises to help you improve your overall movement, but also fixing your mindset, not just your movement strategies, to say, you know, when that comes up, you know, maybe you follow a CrossFit workout, or you're following a plan from somebody else or something like that, and it has one of those movements in there. You can choose to follow it. If you're an athlete who is training for a sport where that's one of the standards or demands, you need to be able to go there but don't live there, okay? So you need to be able to do them, move well enough to do those when called upon, but don't make it your habit to do those all the time. Kind of like salt in the diet, a little goes a long way. So you need some, but it's better to get it from natural food sources. So for this, we really emphasize that McGill Big Three series with a modified curl up, a side bridge or short side plank, all the way to a plank roll and some other variations there, as well as the bird dog. Again, we've got a whole other post on that. Definitely make sure that you subscribe and share our YouTube channel for tips like that, so you can also go back and see that video and do a quick recap for you guys on it here to finish off. But focusing on those right exercises, not doing those wrong exercises, can really help you move the way this athlete responded, the way a lot of our people respond to being taught how to move better, so that way when they do those actions, when they do their movement habits, they know they're going into the right direction, focusing on progress, not perfection, getting a little bit better each time. So hopefully that does help you guys out. Hopefully as we go through just a quick review on this Big Three, that gives you just an idea of what actually being stable through this area while providing some tension, building some endurance, and eventually working into some movements around it. So this is a great warm-up, or a great standalone even, to do just kind of throughout the day. So that first movement, it's a modified curl up. I've got one leg straight, one knee bent. I'm gonna put my hands right underneath my low back, just the fingertips touching. This is gonna give me an idea of when I brace, I press down, I can't pull my hands out. If my hands were a towel, I couldn't pull that towel out. I'm gonna brace, then I'm going to lift here, okay? If I was wearing a polo, I'd be lifting about that bottom or second button. I'm gonna lift, the neck doesn't do the lifting, the head and shoulders come up, head comes along for the ride. I'm lifting here, just taking a little bit of pressure off that mat. Not here, not way up high, just here. I'm gonna hold this tension. I can't pull my right arm out, the one that you're seeing. I'm tight here, holding for 10 seconds. Then I'm gonna switch legs, holding for another 10 seconds, making sure I maintain that pressure on the leg switch for that exercise, keeping that brace, keep them looking up to the ceiling, and then slowly back down. We like to say to our clients, brace, lift, then hold. If you try to lift and hold and then brace, that's where you're gonna feel that strain pull into the neck. Second movement, most basic progression. We're right here, elbow under the shoulder, ribs are up. Lift those hips up and forward. That's a spine sparing movement to move through the hips. And we simply hold here for 10 seconds. And we do that on each side, okay? Come back down. Time won't show you both sides. Then we go into a bird dog. I'm on all fours. My hands are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. I'm going to lift with a nice flat neutral back, looking down, chin tucked. I'm going to lift the arm and leg. I'm going to reach out, not lifting up to the ceiling. I'm just going to reach out, keeping everything nice and tight, not going to round or arch. I'm going to push the ground. I'm going to reach out. I'm going to hold this for 10 seconds on one side. And then I'm just going to simply come back, hold for 10 seconds on the other side. Most common progression for that, you do 3 times on each side for each movement the first round through. Then you do each movement again, twice on each side for that 10-second hold. 3rd time through, once on each side. Okay? If you've still stuck around for that, hopefully you guys can go back and watch the other video, get a little bit more in depth on that even. You can see some different variations. There's tons of those for those 3 movements, but that's kind of the standard for that big 3. That can go a long ways to teaching you how to brace front, back, sides, protecting that spine, low back pelvic area, so you can be stable there. And then when you do go to move through the arms, through the legs, you're ready to, and you're making good movement choices, not those bad movement choices, addition by subtraction, and addition by just a good series of exercises there to help you move better and keep moving better and avoid some of those things that might catch us in terms of that low back pain, reducing the severity, the intensity, the occurrence, all that good stuff to help you keep moving better. So there it is, a little bit long one for you guys. If you stuck with it, awesome, great, thank you. If not, hopefully you got some good value out of the front part and you can come back and watch the rest of it later. So have a great weekend, guys. Don't forget to, again, subscribe and share so you keep up with these and other great strategies that we try to share to help you take your next steps in your health and fitness journey. We'll see you guys all next time.